And so the question is, how much impact can actually having a blog, have on
On
your
your
search
website.
engine
Yep.
results, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
You want to go first?
Well, let me read the subheading here. I have a feeling that better writing favors Google more than just typing keywords. Is this the same with other search engine sites such as Yahoo? I'm not big on writing, but if we have an updated blog, will Google only bring that blog page up on its to a search engine, or will it actually bring up the whole main website? And I think the answer here is definitely yes. Having a blog in conjunction with your website. I mean, you can drive traffic to your website and get conversions and sales. If people search for a question relevant to your niche. And I know you had this experience when you were looking for a server and you did a bunch of searches about server related questions, and you kept finding that DigitalOcean had all these great blog posts. So you wound up choosing DigitalOcean as your server or your internet server provider, right?
Yeah, no, yeah. I use them as a cloud hosting provider, absolutely. Yeah, that's a good example of content marketing. Yeah, definitely. Sorry for being a little over. We got a question in the chat, but yeah,
Oh, nice.
my thought on that topic is that yeah, having a blog is great if those blog posts do well. It's not great
Right.
unless those blog posts do anything. But
It's like
yeah,
if you write a 100-word blog post that is terrible, you're not going to help yourself out at all.
and you're probably not even going to hurt yourself. It's just not going to matter
Right.
unless it's duplicated from some other website. But or Google thinks you're trying to deceive, cheating or keyword stuffing or something. But
Definitely.
but yeah. So we had a question about this
In the
website.
chat?
Yes, we did indeed.
Great.
Thomas
Fire it up.
after. If Thomas wants critique on the language, I'm afraid we're not going to be able to do it because it's in German. But
Oh boy.
we will do our best.
What's the website?
It's
Can you Slack it to me?
I will Slack it to you. Yes, it's creativebureau-hafter.de.a. Let me just Slack this over to David here. We'll take a look. I actually really like the layout. It's nice, super nice.
Creative.
Yep.
Oh boy.
Let's see here. Mediengestalter aus Neckars.
Look at that layout. I like that.
Ganz gut layout, right? Good design doesn't date. Bad design does. Portfolio, Praxis Wissen. Nice. Zum Project.
It's like, can we guess what this website is about without knowing the language?
Yeah, magazine layout. Zum Project, right? Cool. Nice. I think that, well, first off, so Thomas, my question to you is, so Thomas is 24 years old.
Cool.
He, let's see, he studied media and communication design in the Macromedia School in Stuttgart. In his free time, he likes to work out and take photographs.
Nice.
And for fun, he is a freelance communications designer, whatever that means. Anyway, he's probably not interested in my terrible German translation. So yeah, what are we looking at? I mean, are we looking at, okay, what are you trying to rank for? What are the keywords you're trying to rank for? You're a talented designer.
For sure.
You're hired. But no, you're obviously a very talented designer and a graphic artist, and definitely we should shoot Thomas a contact form. And socially, he's watching this because he's a very talented artist. Check that out.
So I went to Google Translate and I translated the about section here.
Yep.
And it says the goal is to design timeless items for you to stand out from the crowd and thus be able to place themselves successfully in this large shark tank. So the Google Translate might be a little off there. But clearly, yeah. I mean, I like the design. I also think it's really important that Thomas here has the HTTPS since he's getting he's trying to get people to fill out the contact form below.
True that.
Very important.
Very important. Okay, so let's not tell him what he's doing right. Let's tell him how we can improve, right?
All right.
Let's see. Did Thomas let us know what he's trying to rank for? What keywords? If I be okay, Thomas says, Sterling, I can see you too. Programming a new website right now because I created an agency, but it's cool to know what you think. Then TSO Life says, how often should be blogging to begin seeing traffic on SEO? We will let you know about that in a second, TSO Life, because we definitely have strong opinions on that. Thomas says translation was pretty good, though. So, danke schön, Thomas. I appreciate that.
I don't see a blog section, though. I'm not sure if he's trying to actually rank for keywords or not.
Well, he's going to have to try to rank for keywords, otherwise what's the point, right? So, heading back to Thomas's website. One of the websites that I looked at yesterday, let me pull this up as an example. Let's see, they were LSAT preparation course in Philadelphia. And this was actually from Reddit, but an interesting example because if we go down here to Pluck, it was this website, Pluck Preparation. And the people who posted this were from this company, and they were saying, how come our About page is showing up on Google and not our main page, right? And so they were all confused about that and getting a bunch of wrong answers.
So was their main page indexed, or was?
Oh, it's indexed, yeah. But
okay,
whenever you do LSAT courses and tutoring, and a lot of people make the mistake of thinking that I should be, this is how I show up in Google. But I think we need to get away from that and start thinking like, this is how I show up in Google for this keyword, because it can be just radically different based on each keyword. So if I click on this, we'll see the About page. And what the boss wants, the boss men want to show up for the main page, right? So this is their main page. And this kind of reminds me of Thomas's page too. Because Thomas's page has a lot of great graphic stuff, and it has a little bit of content.
Right.
But basically, it's the same as this other one, this Pluck page. Because Pluck has, same deal, a little bit of content linked to that part of the website, a little bit of content linked to that part of the website, content linked to the part of the website, content linked to the part of the website. And what's ranking is this page, Team Pluck, Meet Pluck. Meet Pluck. This is the About page that shows up in Google. And why is that? Because what do people do when they go to this website? They go scroll through it, right? And so Google sees, okay, this is a page of links. Like Google doesn't do images well at all. What does Google see? If we were going to go deep on this a little bit, we would do this. We would say site, let's see, Pluck Preparation. And then we'll plug your website, which is awesome. Preparation. So their main website is this. And how do you know what Google sees? You could just come over and just do a little query like this. We talk about this in the Blog Winners course. But if I click the down arrow to the right-hand side of the URL and then click on Cached, first it'll bring up a visual image of the page. But I'm not interested in that. I'm interested in the text-only version. Because this is really what Google sees when they go to your web page, right? So, okay, so they've got this really pretty page here, right? But what does Google see? It sees this. Not so pretty. So why isn't Google linking to this mess? Well, I wonder why, right? Look at
good question.
So the reason is because people always, what do people do when they land on this website? They scroll around and eventually they end up at one of the links. Which one do they stay the longest on? Also, there's another theory I have, but they go here and then they stay on this page for minutes. When they're reading and they're reading and they're reading. So why would Google index the first page if they're just going to end up here anyway? And then this is the page with all the good links on it. And I know that the menu bar is on the home page too, but it makes sense. So my suggestions to them were to, take some of this information and find a way to get it onto the home page, because obviously people are responding to this information. And although it's pretty, it's a nice pretty home page, there's really nothing here of value. So Google is just completely ignoring this page. So Thomas, let's take a look at your website and see what Google's seeing, right? I think that could be helpful. All right. So, Gestalter. All right. Perfect. So this is what Thomas is. So Thomas is better, compared to Pluck over here.
Definitely.
Pluck's is kind of a mess. And Thomas's is actually nice, and at least the spacing is good. This here is cool. The fact that there is some content, like the Who Am I section, right? There's some content, which is good. So I I would think that the Thomas's homepage would stand a chance of ranking, because essentially, instead of having an about page, which is what these guys did, right? Thomas just put "Who am I" in the front page, and that was my suggestion to them. Actually, was to take their about page, which is basically "Who am I," and put it on the front page. So,
well, there you go.
That's one thing. Also, Thomas, I mean, you should check out our blog winners course if you're interested in learning about how to drive traffic to your website by blogging about simple things that you already know about. And then that would be
clearly he's an expert in this area.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's just about getting people to the website, so you don't have to go out there as much and push your. I know it's hard as a independent contractor or as a freelancer to go out to businesses and hand out business cards, but it's a lot easier if they come to you. And that's like David was saying in the beginning of this broadcast about DigitalOcean. The way that people find DigitalOcean, and this is a good learning example, is they Google things that they don't understand. And this is obviously sort of a high-level example, but something that I might, how do I set up, let's say, IP tables in Ubuntu? Right? So this is stuff where dorks get into setting up online servers. They want to know this stuff. So, of course, they Google it. And the first one that shows up organically and the second one are both DigitalOcean. So the way that I signed up with them, the way that I found them, was they have these great blog posts that are just these really great walkthroughs. Nice website. They've got comments and everything. And then once you're on the website, people say, oh, wait a minute. These guys actually are a hosting company that offer these great cloud servers. And so they attract tons and tons of traffic to their blog, and they invested in it. And they just outrank everybody for everything.
Right on.
So a good learning example from DigitalOcean. Shout out to them. So, German Journal of Marketing. Nice. Yeah, Thomas, I think that you're a very talented guy. I just don't see what you would be ranking for here. And so I think that it would be, we'd have to figure out what terms do you actually want to rank for. Do you want to rank for, logo in Stuttgart, which I think is where you live, right? So do you want to rank for, Stuttgart Media Eingestalter, right? David laughs every time I say a German word.
And you say it so well.
Thank you. So what do you want to rank for? And
There's his homework. Find what keywords you're trying to rank for, and then we can get some original content based around those keywords.
Yeah, and then we could talk about structure. And we could talk about all the technical stuff that we look at with blog winners. But first, it's and obviously there's technical stuff that could be added here. But yeah, before we go any farther, I tend to agree with David. It's about how are we going to develop this niche here, and it's some of the stuff we talk about in the beginning chapters of blog winners. Just like identifying your niche, and you've identified your niche, but now it's about getting in there and finding the actual topics that you're going to write about. And maybe it's only 1, 2, or 3 blog posts, but if you line them up the right way, you'll be able to drive traffic to your website and get people interested in your services that wouldn't have been otherwise. And hey, why not reach a global audience? Even if you're just working locally, you might get overseas clients. You never know. So I think that's
it's a good audit there.
Good little audit. A little advice.
We've got 5 people watching now. If you got any questions, feel free to leave them in the chat. We've got a couple questions we can talk about real quick here.
Yeah, well, we had one from Sterling had a question, and so did TSO Life.
Let's start with Sterling G. Yep. Our thoughts on the sandbox.
Right. Which
I'm assuming he's talking about the Google sandbox.
Yep.
Which we've talked about a lot.
Let's keep talking about it real quick.
As far as the Google sandbox goes, that's basically where people think that Google is putting, new websites in a sandbox where they can't rank for specific keywords early on because it's a new website and they don't have any authority. And we found that to just be totally false.
Let's just look at a quick example of that. David, who I'm talking to right now, David Lynch, has a new website called ObjectiveNewsReport.com that I think you launched when, in October? Or November?
Yeah, end of September, early October.
Okay, so David launched this thing, and what did you post yesterday? What was the name of the article?
My post yesterday was, the keyword I was targeting was Why did Congress vote to? Oh man, put me on the spot. I totally forget what my keyword is. It's like, why did Congress vote to overturn internet privacy rules? I think was the keyword.
Okay, so David,
why did Congress overturn internet privacy rules? I'm pretty
Okay.
sure was the keyword.
Why did Congress overturn internet privacy? Let's say. So David is writing this thing. He's got a brand new website. He writes a blog post. He, according to traditional SEO laws, should not stand a chance of beating major websites. Having a website that's only a few months old, not really having much of a backlink profile, but just sort of following the good on-site SEO stuff that we talk about in the Blog Winners course. See, nobody believes us when we talk. I mean, people do, obviously, but a lot of people don't believe us when we talk about Blog Winners and can it work. So let's see, can it work?
Can it work? Definitely. I mean, if you search in Google, why did?
Well, let's just look at this homepage, right? Let's take a look. NPR, right? NPR, New York Times, CNN, David's website.
Yep.
Recode.net, USA Today. So for
page two, Fox News is on page 2, and you know, it goes on and on.
So let's take this guy who I'm talking to. His brand new website is ranking number 5 in Google for a brand new news topic that major websites and major news outlets are writing about. Why? Because he followed some simple SEO stuff, and he did all the stuff that we talked about in the Blog Winners course.
Yep.
You go here, and you can see that it's not just he's gotten some good engagement. He's getting Facebook likes. He's getting comments. It's all good. 19 upvotes on Reddit. It's just all this stuff is happening naturally.
One thing I will say is that I didn't write. Before I wrote this article, I had the idea. I went to Suvil to find out how people were searching for it because I wasn't sure what people were typing in when they were looking for this particular topic.
Yeah, and that's
so I went to Suvil, found the best keyword, and I went with it right away.
Absolutely. Let's head to TSO Life's questions. And then we get back to Thomas too.
So TSO's Life's first question: how often should you be blogging to begin seeing traffic on SEO?
Okay, and the answer is it doesn't matter, right? My answer to that question is it's not about how often you blog, it's about the quality of the blog posts that you're putting out. So for me, I launched a website in August of 2013 or May in there, and then I wrote one blog post in August of 2013 and forgot about it. In February 2014, 5 million people read that blog post in a single week. And so I wasn't blogging periodically. I wasn't doing anything. I just wrote a blog post that was good, and people found it. It had started getting some organic search traffic because I set it up correctly. And then somebody found it, and they shared it on Facebook, and it went crazy. And so then I said to myself, hey, I could write articles now. I didn't know I could before. I never intended to be a blogger, an SEO guy, or anything. And so I kept writing, and I discovered that the formula and the things that we discovered continue to work, and we continue to do, to write blog posts that do really well. But I will say that there were periods of time, especially during those first couple of years, where I was living on Maui, and I was working on other projects. Like Pay It Forward was not a major thing on my radar. So every couple of months, I'd write a couple more iPhone blog posts, and then work on other stuff, and just hang out. And that sort of approach of writing high-quality content every once in a while, not trying to write crappy content all the time, really does work out well. So Google's job is to take the world's information and organize it to make it universally accessible, and to organize the world. What's their mission statement, David? To organize the world's information and make it universally accessible and useful.
Yeah.
So Google's job is to find information that is useful, and they're going to put it in front of the right people. So it's really not about when that information was published or about if you publish an article 4 weeks later or 2 weeks later. It's just, is that information good? And what we've seen more and more is Google looking at each page on a website individually and really we see that sometimes one blog post can really sort of establish a website or raise it, but yeah, it's really about quality and not quantity. David, your thoughts?
I mean, basically what you said, it's better to write one really great blog post per month rather than write a really bad one every single day, is how I would sum that up.
Absolutely, I totally agree.
And it's not like if you don't write blog posts every day that Google is going to see, oh, your site is, decaying and you gave up. It's okay to take a few days off, and
I literally
it's
took
not.
months off.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Yeah.
You don't need to write new articles, new blog posts every single day to stay relevant in Google.
Yeah, and that's one of the great things about Blog Winners and about the lifestyle that we teach and the lifestyle that we live, is that having a website like this gives us the freedom to gives me the freedom to not work all the time. Like I don't have to be on 5 days a week from 9 to 5, because the way that I've always worked is just sort of streaky. I've been kind of a binge worker, and I do a lot of work and then I step back. And this lifestyle really works well for me.
And I'll say an example from what I've written. If you Google what is Sarah Palin doing now, I'm ranking #1 for that, and that's by far my most the article that gets me the most traffic. And I wrote that about over 2 months ago, and still that's been my driving force behind my traffic. And I haven't written as much over the past few months, but that's still ranking #1, and it hasn't budged in a while. So it's
Absolutely.
definitely not a huge factor to be writing every single day, for sure.
Yeah, sure. And I mean, I think that this would still be #1 even if you hadn't written anything, for a
Right.
while. But Google doesn't care. Google just cares that it's a good article.
TSO Life also asks, the topics for blogs and keywords already have traffic and competition. What tips do you have to outrank them? Outrank articles that are already established on specific keywords.
Yeah, so I think that most people think that they're already taken and they're not, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like we do a lot of research, like in Blog Winners, we teach people how to do keyword research. I'll throw a link to that in the chat, just so you guys can check it out if you feel like it. But we we put a lot of emphasis on doing keyword research, not just in the way that a lot of people do, but about really thinking what people are searching for and how they're searching for it. So a lot of times people will go to a tool like Suva, let's say, and let's see a blog topic. What's a bloggy type topic? Blog.
A bloggy type topic.
Blog sites.
How about
blog.
health and fitness?
How about, well, that would be a type of, okay, so health and fitness, right. So health and fitness. Right now we're just using Suva, which is a tool that we can use for auto-suggest in Google and also Amazon, Yahoo. It's a really great tool. Health and fitness, meals, articles. But let's go into like fitness. What are people interested in? Fitness quotes, fitness tracker, fitness models, fitness motivation. So let's do fitness motivation, right? So motivation for fitness. So motivation for fitness and okay, so people are interested in motivating themselves for fitness. What if we did, how do I motivate myself to work out, to study, to lose weight? Work out again, work out in the morning. So let's see if these keywords are taken. This is a long tail keyword, obviously. All right, that's interesting. So this exact keyword hasn't been written yet, but this is actually pretty close.
What's the exact keyword?
How do I motivate myself to work out in the morning? Could be a blog post. But, I mean, it doesn't exist. How do I motivate myself to work out?
I mean, how to motivate myself to work out? I used our other research, our other keyword research tool, and there's not a ton of competition on that keyword.
Yeah, well, how do I motivate myself to work out hasn't been written either. So the keys to keyword research are, well, first off, forget the idea that everything's taken, because that's just not the truth. And there's just tons and tons of open space out there for this stuff. And a lot of the times, if we take this approach at Blog Winners, we talk about how to do keyword research like this, and then not only how to find out articles like this that we're able to find out really quickly, but then also to use other tools to figure out what articles haven't been written yet. Because like this is cool, this is great. We know that this article hasn't been written that much, but what I mean is the other tools will tell you how much competition there is for those keywords. So right,
and how much traffic that keyword is getting.
Right. So you can really figure out, is this worth my time to write, and then start to get traffic. I feel like I had a second part of what I was going to say there, but yeah, in Blog Winners we talk about all that stuff, and I think that there are definitely tons of keyword opportunities available that are great. What I was going to say is that if you can start to pick off some of these long tail keywords and get traffic, sometimes you can work your way backwards into the short tail keywords. Like my original "Why does my iPhone battery die so fast?" eventually became like "iPhone battery dies fast," became "iPhone battery dies," and I kept getting shorter and shorter and shorter keywords, shorter tail keywords that I ranked for number one. So long tail keyword is a great approach, not just to pick off low competition, low traffic keywords, but because you can sort of work your way backwards into the higher competition, higher traffic stuff.
One thing we should say, though, about trying to pick off these higher competition keywords is that if you're not offering some unique information, like if you're just taking everyone else's information, it's very unlikely that you're going to start outranking some other sites.
Mm-hmm. Totally. And absolutely. If you aren't bringing anything new to the table, if you don't have the passion about it, the knowledge about it, or know someone who does, then like David said,
right,
it's not going to work out, because what people end up doing is they just end up, Googling a bunch of stuff and then making worse versions of the top 10 articles, and so they don't end up, helping people. The articles that I've written that do the best are the ones that I can bring firsthand original information to the table, and people really respond to it. Everybody's an expert in something. You don't have to be trained. The part of our blog learners course is we help people to find out what they're experts at, and just we help them to discover a niche that they can write in where they're already an expert, and help them get over that sort of blind spot about, a lot of times people don't realize that they're an expert in a certain topic because they're just naturally good at it. So let's get back to Thomas Hafner. Thomas says, I want to rank for something like Media Eingestalter, which is the translation for graphic designer, and that at least locally, which is why I wrote down their location, Neckarsum. Neckar means
local SEO.
Delicious. I think Neckar sweet tastes good. Neckarsum.
Neckar sweet. Neckarsum.
Neckar. Maybe no. Lecker is sweet. Anyway, okay. So let's search for Neckarsum Media Eingestalter and see how we can do with Google's German version. Okay, google.de.de. Okay, Google Deutschland. Media Eingestalter in Neckarsum. Okay, and this is, we're obviously not, what does this mean? How about later? We'll choose later. Okay. All right. So Thomas should be showing up in here, right? This is what Thomas wants to rank for. And it looks like it's just a bunch of, so Jobstimme, Indeed, Monster.de, of course they've got that, Stepstone. These are all like Monster.com versions. There's nothing here that's like a local business, which I'm surprised about. I'm not sure if Google uses local business the same in Germany. Maybe they don't. But it looks like there's a lot of opportunities here. I mean,
for keywords or blog posts?
No, for a whole website. I mean, like he's a graphic designer in Germany, and he wants to show up for something like graphic designer in his city, right?
Right.
Neckarsum Media Media, and I don't know how to say it. Okay. Neckarsum. It sounds like the name of a bad song. Neckarsum. Yeah, so Thomas, bro. Thomas is showing up, dude.
Where?
You see this? Page 2.
Page 2?
Neckarsum Media Eingestalter.
Right on.
Thomas Hafner
right
down
on.
Here. Ich bin Thomas Hafner, Media Eingestalter aus Neckarsum am Bach, right? So he says, I am Thomas Hafner, a graphic designer in Neckarsum. And this is great. So you can see that in his meta description, he hit that.
Nice.
Solid. In his title, he's hitting what he wants. Eingestalter. So let's do it the other way. Let's see. Where are you, Thomas? Why? It must be a higher competition, huh? So page 3 for this. Yeah. So I think that this is an interesting example of where a blog could actually help.
Yep.
Because if we could get some traffic to this website and some backlinks to this website and a bunch of social shares to this website, then you could start to rank and you could rise up.
I mean, he's already on page 2, which is definitely solid.
Right, and he's competing with major websites.
Mm-hmm.
If you haven't registered for Google Local, then do that if you can in Germany. But yeah, I like this. Thomas, you are off to a good start, my man. I think that you should check out Blog Winners because I'd love to work with you. Not just because I want you to take our course, but I think you have a really good. So what's Thomas doing really well right now, right? Thomas has a website that's ranking well in Google. Already by itself.
Yep.
If Thomas builds out some content around this and does some keyword research, he's going to be able to start to drive traffic just sort of automatically because he's already laid the foundation. So all the people that say, "Oh, you got the sandbox and this and that," like he's got a website and a foundation that's ready to go. He just needs to start to build it out a little bit.
Yeah, all the pieces are in place for sure.
They are. The stage is set.
The stage is set. The lights are on.
The ducks are in a row. Yeah.
For sure.
All right. So shout out to Thomas today for doing a good job.
Great graphic design.
Yeah.
Skills.
Skills with the Z.
With the Z.
All right. So who's next? Does anybody else have a question?
Anyone else in the chat? I don't see one. I can probably find one on Reddit if we want to go back to that while we wait for more chat questions.
We could do that, yeah. But I just,
it's more fun to help people who are actually watching the stream, you know?
Totally. And I think we've actually gotten some really good stuff done today. I'm surprised.
Yep. Got some good questions.
Half hour so far and already helped a couple of people out. I think that we've been able to answer the questions we've gotten. So why don't we just let's ask our watchers to throw something in the live chat and we will respond to it.
While we wait for that,
someone
on the blogging subreddit had a question about Yoast. And basically the question is, I'm going to trim it down a little bit for you. Why is it important to write meta descriptions? And why shouldn't you just leave it blank and let Google just take whatever the beginning of the blog post is and use that as the meta description?
Well, right. Well, you could do that. And sometimes Google will do it anyway, but meta descriptions, I think. Well, David, what would you say before I go off and start talking?
I think I actually did respond to this one.
What do you got?
So I said, I always write meta descriptions for a couple reasons. First of all, you can explain exactly what's in the article. Sometimes when you let Google pull the first couple sentences, they might not be focused. And then secondly, I said you can hit the focus keyword in the meta description when you write your own meta description. So those are the two main things I said. You probably have more to add to that, though.
No, that's it. Yeah, no, it's the ability to have an extra place to put your keyword in, like you said, David, because you're not necessarily crafting the keyword, in the first couple of sentences. But really, a meta description, I think the real purpose of it, in addition to the keyword thing, is simply to, make it appealing to people in Google as they scroll by you.
Right.
And a lot of the times in Yoast, it's not just there where it's showing up. It'll also get pulled into like Facebook and become the thing that shows up underneath your Facebook post. And like that's important to be able to tailor that little block of text that whizzes by people as they scroll on Facebook or Twitter or whatever.
All right, so we got some more action in the chat now.
Yep.
Thomas says, my new site will have a little bit more content, so you think I will automatically rank higher then if he adds some new content?
Not unless it's good content.
Right.
And so like more content isn't going to do it. I mean, it could do it. I mean, if people responded to it, if it got shared. I think it's more about finding the right content to add.
For sure. For sure.
For sure.
And then if you're trying to write blog posts that rank for a specific keyword, just know that, don't expect to rank number one immediately. Sometimes it can take as long as 3 months to hit the front page. on Google for specific keywords.
Yeah, it depends on the competition and whether the keyword has been written already or not. But yeah, there are things you could do in David. It takes David a couple hours to be number one.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I rank for new keywords in a couple hours. Sometimes it takes a few weeks. Sometimes it takes a few months. It really depends on the competition. Dropship Island is back.
Shout out to Dropship Island.
Dropship Island says, I confirm that the sandbox does not exist, but keyword cannibalization is a big problem for me. Trying to run some tests right now, but the Google crawl is pretty slow. Any ways to speed it up?
I don't 100%. I saw this term earlier today. This keyword cannibalization thing. I think I need some clarity on that.
Let's take a look at what that really means here.
Let's go to our super secret research method.
I mean, people say that a lot, and I agree with you. It's not something I really completely understood. A widely spread website internal information structure problem that occurs when multiple subpages are heavily targeting one keyword and the same key term.
Yeah.
So it's basically writing multiple blog posts about the same keyword.
Yep, exactly. And this is where, people run into this all the time. This is where webmasters get mad and throw things when you suggest to remove certain blog posts. This is where I used to work for a website. I did briefly where this was like a humongous problem, where the same keyword was just duplicated over and over and over again, and the wrong blog posts show up for the wrong keywords, and people want to say, like, well, how can I make this post show up for this thing? And it's like, you don't have that much control. We have to, what can we control? And that's, what's on the website. So
I mean, rewrite the blog post or just take it
down. Put
them
together. Put it down, no index it. I suggested temporarily unpublishing a whole bunch of blog posts because they had hundreds of blog posts that were getting no traffic. But the problem is, it'd be one thing if it was like the wrong blog post showed up in position 2. But what happens is that it's not just that it shows up in position 2. It's that what would otherwise be showing up in position 2 on Google is being outranked by some other web page on like page 3. Mm-hmm. That is like totally not even related, but it has that keyword on it. So keyword cannibalization does more than just put the wrong web page at the top of Google. It kicks web pages that should be at the top of Google out of the way.
Now here's something interesting. Dropship Island is saying that the sidebar and related posts may actually be outranking some of his or her blog posts.
Yeah, huge thing.
I mean, my advice to you, what I've done is I actually, on my websites, I just removed the sidebar altogether. It was too much of a headache for me. I said, forget it. Just yank the sidebar right out.
Yeah, people a lot of the time like the cleaner approach as well. But if you're having problems with keyword cannibalization, you got to prioritize, right? Okay, you want click-throughs to your other blog posts. Great. But priority 1 is fix the keyword problem. And anything you could do to fix that, if it's getting rid of the sidebar and the related posts for now, and maybe just keeping a couple of the related posts at the bottom underneath, then maybe try that. But yeah, when Google looks at a page, everything's a link. Link text is link text. So whether or not it appears in the sidebar, sometimes Google really can't tell the difference.
He said he or she confirmed that having blog posts on the homepage as well as related posts and sidebar posts were causing problems.
Mm-hmm.
I think I ran into that problem too, where my homepage at times would outrank my actual blog posts. And what I did is I found a way in WordPress where you can actually skip posts in the theme settings or the customizer. And what I did is I just set it to skip 5 posts. So all my new posts weren't on the homepage or in the sidebar I had at the time. And that solved the problem.
I think that's theme specific though, David, right?
It is. I mean, it is. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So if you have a theme that could do that, that's great. Actually, my theme could do a similar thing. But
if you're even using WordPress.
Yeah, I kind of like the approach of, and I'm not doing this on Pay It Forward right now, but we are doing it on iPhone Help.Expert.
Right.
Where we make the homepage more of a landing page with a search box and what are you looking for, and maybe have some categories and stuff. but not make it like a giant Pinterest style homepage. So
Right.
I think there's
I
more
think
of a
on
trend.
iPhone Help Expert, it's pretty much just the search bar. Yeah, I'm looking at it now. It's just the search bar and then a little blurb about all of us, and that's about it.
Yeah.
And we haven't really run into any problems there with
Nope.
our homepage
Yeah, we got a
outranking
little
our
bit
actual
about
blog
us.
posts.
This is
Yep.
us. Yeah, so we got a little bit of content happening in a big search bar, which uses Google custom search, which is fine.
So I mean, if you have a lot of content, the search bar might actually be a way to go for you. What do you want to learn about drop shipping today? I don't know.
Yeah, what are you going to drop ship? And if you haven't used Google custom search engine, totally recommend it. What Google Custom Search does is it allows you to replace your search results page in WordPress with a Google page. And then, so two benefits. Number one, AdSense money. People click on the ads, you get the money. Number two is you get to control which websites show up in the search results. So for iPhone Help.expert, I have payitforward.com and iPhone Help.expert showing up in the search results for any given keyword. So if I go like AirPods, we'll see that iPhone Help Expert shows up, Pay It Forward shows up, iPhone Help Expert. It's great.
Thomas Hafner asks, is our course free? If I actually had to write a blog, I don't even know what to write about.
Right. So
you should write about graphic design.
Yeah, you should write. And so let's see. How do I design? Here's an idea. So the beginner portion of our course is $5, and I think it'd totally be worth it for you because you could sign up for free and you get to see a video about how we do our thing, and then for $5 you get access to a part that helps you to first unlock what you can actually accomplish with a blog. Second chapter is about finding your niche and about exactly what your question is. It's okay, I'm an expert in this thing, but how do I actually find out what I should be writing about? And there are just tons and tons of topics, I'm sure, for graphic designers. So let's see, what are people interested in? Logos, probably. Logo design.
Logo design.
So how do
and we also have a free blog section, which is probably worth checking out for you, which is all about writing blog posts essentially.
Yep. And then the third section is what is it, David? Technical setup?
Technical keys for technical success,
Yep.
yeah.
So how do I design my own logo? How do I?
And then what David is using now is Suval. That's one of our recommended keyword research tools that you would check out too.
How do I design my own logo? So this hasn't even been written. Solid. So, Thomas, the ask a question answered formula, right? So, ask a question. Here's a blog post title for you. Let's just throw this right in the chat.
Throw it right in the chat. Give them an idea.
And it's impossible to know the exact traffic numbers on this, but it's the blog runners we talk about how to figure that out. But let's see.
What's the keyword?
How do I design my own logo? A graphic designer's tips. Maybe not tips, maybe secrets. Boom, article, done. And then in blog winners, we talk about, not only how to do keyword research and a little more in depth than what I just did, but also how to structure articles and how to, we really break it down into in this sentence, say this. In the second sentence of the first paragraph, say this. The third sentence of the paragraph, use the keyword this way, and then say what you're going to accomplish, and just it's kind of like a very compartmentalized, formulaic approach that works for us over and over and over again.
Yeah, I mean, basically, if you want to check it out, we do give 100%, no questions asked, money back guarantee. So
yeah, I would definitely say, check out the $5 deal.
Yep.
And you could just use PayPal, and then if you don't like it, we'll give you your money back. No sweat. Nothing to lose.
But I mean, this is one of those cases where he has a really great website, and he's already ranking page 2, and I think a blog could just take him to the next level.
Yeah, absolutely. And get a bunch of clients, For me, here's my story. My goal was to become a local web designer and a local web consultant. And I just happened to write one blog post because I figured I should have a blog section on my website. And I was in your position, Thomas. I was Blogs are stupid. I didn't know what to write about, but I knew that I wanted to have a blog on my business card so that when clients came to me and were like, hey, can you build me a website with a blog? I could say yes. So one morning I wrote this blog post and that went viral. So a blog could be much more powerful than you may realize at this point, and even life-changing.
I think a lot of people, they don't realize how powerful a blog can actually be to their website in order to get more clients too.
I mean, just the amount of, yeah, whether it's from clients or affiliate revenue or ad revenue. I mean, it's like a single blog post can make some serious money. And yeah, I mean, for someone in your position as a graphic designer, you're filled with great information. And that's the thing. Thomas says, actually, if I had to write a blog, I don't even know what to write about. And this is a professional graphic designer who's very talented who's saying that.
Mm-hmm.
It's more evidence of this, like, people don't realize that they're an expert in a topic. I'm sure.
And
Thomas,
he has information that's so valuable to other people, he probably doesn't realize it yet.
Yep, especially on the internet. So it's just a matter of like, okay, what are people searching for? How do I present that information in the way that people respond to and the way that Google responds to?
Yep.
And then, just watching the traffic come in. And I would assume that in Germany, it's a little bit less crowded than it is in the US in terms of Google search.
Probably.
Just because there's, it's a little bit, I would assume that there's a lot of space in there, Thomas. You can, just think of this. You could potentially be the #1 search result for all these graphic design topics in Germany. Like, why would you not want to do that? Like, I just never thought that I could be the #1 search result for iPhone battery problems. Like, or why does my iPhone battery die? I never thought that I could be the #1 and outrank Apple. But, that's what happened. And you could do that too, and why not? Hop on it.
Why not? There's the question for you. Why not?
Hop on it. Dropship Island. Solid. I'm glad that you're back. Dropship Island has been an ardent supporter of the channel.
Definitely.
Definitely. So, got any SEO jokes as we wait for our next question, David?
SEO jokes? No, I have no SEO jokes. Someone in one of the SEO subreddits is like, an SEO expert walks into a ... bar, club, pub. And I was like, that's lame. That's a lame joke.
Because it was like, variations, or I don't get it.
I don't know. I thought it was a lame joke.
All right, I found a website with SEO jokes. All right.
Oh geez. All right, hold on. Time out. Before we get into that, Thomas Hafner, but I don't really get is how I'm going to actually make money with a blog post, like what's generating the money.
Okay, well, it depends. First off, you're a graphic designer. You could put a form on the bottom of the blog post that says contact me, like DigitalOcean does. So let's say DigitalOcean, people search for server-related problems. So how do I set up, instead of how do I design my own logo for my business, which is what you would write, they write, how do I set up IP tables in Ubuntu or some topic like that. And that's how you get people to your website. So imagine you're DigitalOcean or you're a graphic designer. And this article is, how do I design my own logo for my website? Here's the experts' pro tips. And they're reading, and you have examples of your stuff. And then at the bottom here, you've got your newsletter that just popped in. And as they're scrolling, they're realizing that, like, hey, this guy actually knows what he's talking about. And oh, by the way, at the bottom, here's a contact form where you're interacting with people. And then at the top, you've got your, all of your information, your portfolio. So now all of a sudden, people from all over Germany and maybe the world are ending on your website, and are landing on your website, and they're seeing your work. And so then some of them are going to click through to other pages, and some of them are going to contact you possibly for work as a client. The second way to do it is with affiliate marketing and advertising, which you can make a lot of money on. One of my blog posts makes over $1,000 a month, just from a combination of affiliate revenue and advertising. So a single blog post can do a lot of good for your business in a lot of different ways. Yeah, there's really a lot more money than you probably think.
I would say, especially for Thomas here, writing blog posts and then putting no ads on them and then trying to get more clients, because I'm assuming that Thomas would rather work with individual clients rather than try to accumulate, some money on AdSense, because he's not a blogger first, he's a graphic designer first.
Well,
And then,
I was a website designer first. I was not a blogger.
right, true.
I mean, I agree with you, David, but I don't see why not to put AdSense on a website as long as you stay within the bounds of like what they're okay with.
True.
There's
true.
no reason not to make money because if his thing goes viral, he doesn't want to be like, oh, I just missed out on $1,000 or something.
Definitely, for sure.
But
Dropship Island says my website is an SEO joke,
which is funny and tragic.
The thing is with Dropship Island's website, like it's very nicely laid out. I think he or she updated the homepage and it looks a lot better now to me. And it's just a matter of fixing your images and I don't know what we said last time, but
yeah, dude, it actually looks
the
a lot
keyword
better.
research.
Listen,
the homepage looks really nice right now.
Yeah, I mean,
it's got the parallax going on. I like that.
So yeah, I mean, look, if you type in Dropship Island, you've got the top three results are. Oops, I'm not doing it in my shared window. Dropship Island. 1, 2, 3. Dropship Island.
Boom.
To read the free drop shipping guide, I think that like probably this could be tweaked. It should probably be the ultimate dropshipping guide, right? So this is an example where SEO title's gone wrong, right here. Drop shipping from China, good or bad idea? So probably there's better ways to phrase that, right?
Probably. I'm assuming drop shipping from China is a super ultra competitive keyword.
Yeah, but there's got to be a better way to phrase that. Like people probably aren't typing that into Google. They're probably typing like, is it a good idea to drop ship from China? Or is drop shipping from China a good or bad idea? Like changing the keyword around to a more
searchable term.
Yeah. Sweet. Dropship Island. I've got high hopes for you, bud.
Dropship Island is a few tweaks away from being a solid website.
Yeah. We like you, Dropship Island.
We like Dropship Island.
We're on your side. Can we get to the SEO jokes, David?
All right. Fire some off real quick.
All right, here we go.
We've got 5 people watching now. If you've got a question, just leave it in the chat. We're happy to answer them.
Okay. Why do SEOs hate watery oatmeal? Content.
Thin content, nice.
Yeah. Why do SEOs love the farmer's market?
Thick content.
No. Lots of organic content.
Nice.
This is really awful. Really awful. How does an SEO attract angry penguins with bad link bait?
Oh, I get it, because they like fish.
They like fish. I think there's probably a good opportunity here for SEO jokes.
If you've got some solid SEO jokes, I mean the market's wide open here.
Wide open. Why did Tiger Woods start studying SEO to get his #1 ranking back?
Ouch!
Oh, that's kind of funny. Okay,
dissing Tiger. That's the best one so far. That's a diss at Tiger Woods. Wow.
That's funny. Hey, remember when we went to WordCamp US? We got put in room 404. That was kind of
room 404. That was great.
Yep. Yeah, David and I went to a WordPress conference, checked into our hotel, and they stuck us in room 404.
That was funny.
For those of you who aren't as dorky as we are, 404 error is everybody in this chat knows what a 404 error is.
404 error.
Yeah, everybody here knows. Sorry, guys. So, I can go back to the jokes if nobody else is going to type.
I'm trying to dig up some questions on the subreddits here.
I'm going to keep coming up with SEO jokes.
All right, you do that. I'm going to find us some solid conversation starters.
All right, SEO jokes. What does an SEO and a part-time chiropractor work on? Your bad backlinks. Let's see.
A chiropractor doesn't work on backlinks, first of all.
Yeah. Oh man, what is a black hat SEO for? Food spam. What are successful SEO experts angry about on the drive to work? Too much traffic? Why would they be angry? They'd be happy about that. How many SEO experts does it take to change a light bulb, light bulbs, lighting, lights? It's almost done. Why do girls not date SEO experts? They load too fast. I don't get it.
Dropship Island, if you want alerts for the live stream, to subscribe to the channel, and I think it'll send you an alert whenever we're live. I'm not sure if that's how YouTube works. Personally, I'm not a fan of the YouTube alert system or the messaging system. It's kind of not great.
Yes, we've informed YouTube of our unhappiness with them.
I think I have complained to YouTube before about their messaging system, because when I used to do YouTube frequently, people would send me messages and I would just never get them because I would never get alerted.
It's bad. It's bad. You know what? This has been doing well today with, like, I don't want to jinx us, David, but the other day we had some visitors that were less than saved.
Oh, yeah, so we had some trolls. Thomas asks, one last question. You can ask as many questions as you want. It's good. Which tools for SEO can you recommend? Well, today we've talked a lot about Suvel.
Yep, let me recommend one other one, which is Ubersuggest.
Ubersuggest.io
I like. One of them.
Now, Neil Patel just bought Ubersuggest, so don't get used to how it looks right now, because it might be changing a lot soon.
Yep, and we have like a whole system that we walk through in the blog winners, where we use a couple of tools together.
Yep. We love Suvel, though, for sure.
What did I say? Answer the public. I saw that yesterday. It's an interesting idea. I think this is the website.
Answer the public. That's
Answer the public, right? So, like, this is like a sort of question generator, but it's like almost there. It gets you close, but not all the way to where you need to be for asking like questions. Like, it'll do like Keyword Shitter Pro. Nice, Dropship Island. Is that it? Let's check this out.
Oh boy.
Nice.
I'm afraid to search for this, but we'll see.
Yeah, we got it. Yeah, see, there's a lot
long tail
of
keyword suggestion tool. All right, cool.
Yeah, dude.
Let's see. Let's take a look at this. How do I search without doing a CSV? Is it that blue arrow? There it is. Okay.
Is it working for you?
Yep. If you click like the blue arrow.
Click the blue arrow.
Next to clear.
You know what I hate?
And export a CSV.
I hate that it capitalizes the first word. First letter. iPhone.
Interesting. I like this. That's nice.
It doesn't work for me, David.
Well, you're doing it wrong, obviously. It works for me. It works for you.
This is what I get. What did you
say? This is another one of those, great tool, terrible domain.
I think it's a pretty good domain, dude.
Oh, man.
Except for the fact that I don't know if it would rank. Yeah, I think it's good.
I mean, are they ranking for long tail keyword suggestions?
Yeah, well, Ubersuggest.
They are not.
They're not up there.
Another tool on my Chrome, I have the Moz toolbar installed, and I basically use that to check if links that I've posted around are do follow or no follow. I'm not really sure what other features it has, but that's the one I use mainly. So, I mean, I'd recommend checking out the Moz toolbar. It's free to install if you're into Chrome extensions. So you see that blue arrow in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen?
I see the blue arrow, David. I hit the blue arrow. It doesn't work for me.
Oh, well.
It's some JavaScript error. Something's not working. You'll see the error here. The quota has been exceeded. Sort of you got it before the quota was exceeded. See, the quota has been exceeded. It's a non-exception. We get into the JavaScript another day.
Yeah, in another day, please. Please.
All right, so I feel like we're... do we have any more questions?
Not in the chat. Oh, wait, here we go. Chad Larson, a new person. Are auction-based websites still viable these days?
David?
There's a question I don't know if you have the answer to.
I have the answer to all questions. Sometimes I just know. Okay. Are auction-based websites, do you mean the ones that we buy at auction, like at snapnames.com and expired domains and all that stuff? Are they still viable? I think it depends the website, you know? I mean, like creating your personal blog network, is that what we're talking about? Because the answer, I think, is probably it depends on what the content is of the website and how long it's been going for. Does it still rank? We've certainly, dabbled in that a little bit just to experiment to see, like, if a domain is expired, can I pick it up and will it still rank in Google for the same search terms? And like the answer is pretty much yes, and that's what we found. But we haven't really tried to do the PBN thing or the personal blog network. I'm wanting to build one.
Oh, you got it.
Folks auctioning their own things to one another. Okay, so you actually want to build an auction.
So he wants to build something like eBay, essentially.
Right. I mean, sure. I don't know. It sounds hard. It sounds hard to me.
I think if you made an app, I think an app would be more.
I think this is outside of our realm of expertise.
Right, for sure.
The viability of an auction-based website. I think it depends. I mean, if you went to any business person, they'd probably be like, show me your idea. How are you different? How can you differentiate yourself from all the other options out there? And there are a lot, But yeah, based around handmade grown items. Cool.
So that's basically, what is that website that sells? Oh man, what's the website that sells like homemade items? Etsy. But that's not really auction related, is it? I don't think so.
Chad, yeah, I mean, hey, if you've got an idea, go for it. I mean, I've definitely gone for
as long as you can differentiate yourself from what everyone else is doing.
Yeah, the traditional wisdom of like, I've heard recently that it's a good idea to go into the crowded markets because that's where all the customers are. So run it right into the middle of a crowded market like auction websites and then differentiate. It's a good idea. Don't go where nobody is because nobody's going to be there.
Yeah.
Do you guys know Uberall.com? It does local listings for you. Oh, it's like, I'm tired. Jeez, what's going on here? This SEO is riveting. I was really glad to be able to do this tonight, though. For sure. All right, Uberall. Control your locations, power your sales. Oh boy.
Chad Larson is saying he has access to a lot of original content.
Ah, Chad.
That could be a game changer.
Well, do you have databases of that content, or do you have physical access to a lot of original content? It does local listings for you, but it's $40 per month for 45 listings. This, I think we're getting into like the local SEO citation building services, and that's not something that I do. Nick does a lot of that. Like he has like has people do stuff like that. Local SEO. Yeah, I would stay away. Here's the problem with that, Thomas. Is like if you start to do things that Google is going to think are automated or think are just like, if you pay for a service, other people are saying they're paying for that service too. And then Google is going to be able to easily detect when that service is happening by identifying patterns. So I think the question is like, do you need to use this service? Are you going to get anything out of it? I don't know. It seems like a lot of money for something you might not need. That's my gut feeling. I've never really had a problem where a website that I built and just did solid SEO on, like we talk about at blog winners, didn't rank well. I didn't really ever have to go outside of it, to pay for services for that type of thing.
Chad Larson saying he has lots of physical access to these products, this content.
Yeah, Chad, solid.
I mean, I would say in this case, maybe since you're on the West Coast, start locally and then see how it goes, and then if it's a success, branch out.
Yeah, I mean, my thought would be like, okay, you've got all these people, but you can't do all the work, right? Because it'd be a nightmare. It'd be like, I'm going to show it. I'm like, people, I'm going to come and take pictures of your weed and put it on the internet, and I'll sell it for you and I'll try to get a cut. I would try to find a way to make it easy for them to list their products and you just take a percentage and
Mhm.
somehow incentivize them to actually do that. And if you have access to festivals, then yeah, I think it's a good idea. Totally.
Thomas Hafner taking off for the night. Good night, Thomas.
Good night. Thanks for sticking it out, bud. Guten Abend.
4:16 a.m.
Yeah,
Yikes!
he's a trooper.
Yikes!
It's good. You're a good man, Thomas. Vielen Dank. It means many things. All right. All right. So 6 people watching right now. About to go down to 5 because Thomas is hitting the sack at 4:16 a.m.
Ugh, Thomas.
He's a lightweight.
Yeah, drop any questions in the chat.
Yeah.
Happy to
We'll
answer
pick him
them.
up.
We'll answer them as best we can.
Yeah. Or we'll make something up.
Or makes.
Yeah, that's a good one, right? Chad asks, where would I seek the help support I would need without getting robbed of my ideas, etc.?
Yeah, that's a great question.
It's tough. You got to find people who you can trust. That's the thing. I mean, especially when you're getting off the ground, people that are in, they say ideas are cheap, right? And it's not that your ideas are bad. And I've been in this position before too, where I have ideas for projects that are good ideas, but you got to trust people. Find people that you can trust. But your question is, where would I seek the help support I would need? Maybe. Well, I was going to say Reddit, but I don't know if they're going to trust.
I wouldn't start a Reddit.
Trust that crew. Let's see. A lot of times there are like tech meetups. You might meet somebody in person who you connect with. If you go to meetup.com, that might be in.
I mean, we've talked about this recently where we just start reaching out to people. And you don't have to give away your whole business plan in an email. Be like, hey, I have this idea. I'd love to talk to you about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lot of times.
Can we chat?
That's it. And that's exactly.
I mean, that's something we've been talking about a lot lately too, about reaching out to more people and trying to grow as a brand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just asking for help from people that have experience, like people that are farther down the line. A lot of times those people aren't, stealing your ideas isn't like very interesting to them anyway, because they're successful and they're busy, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
And I mean, if you're targeting all these festivals, I mean, talk to the people at the festivals and see what their interest level is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, talk to your customers. Absolutely. Then, I mean, if you could come up with specifications, then you could also use like an Upwork.com type website where you can hire somebody overseas to build out like the little parts that you need.
Yep.
Theoretically, somebody could steal an idea, but I don't see somebody in the Philippines being able to steal this idea, because part of it is this in-person relationship that you're building with people.
Right.
So yeah, you trust your gut though. Trust your gut with people.
Trust your gut.
So any more questions in the live chat? Live.
Oh boy.
All right. Chad says, where are they? So, the communities I am involved with don't trust outsiders.
They're already on board. He said he spoke to his folks first, and people are already on board. I mean, if you've got people supporting you, I say go for it. Start locally, and then branch out if it's a success.
Mm-hmm.
Don't bite off more than you can chew and try to launch some nationwide auction site, because that might be tough. But if you start locally with these homegrown products, I think you got a chance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's like the concept of like the minimum viable product, or the MVP. So like you're going to try to figure out what the minimum viable product is. and by working with people directly and asking them what they're looking for and showing them your designs, that sort of one-on-one, one-to-one, consulting can be very helpful.
Here we go. Liros E asks, think I got labeled as a troll, but I'm not. I do have a blog about essential oils. It's a Blogspot blog, no less. It does about 30K views per month, but I've been stuck with growing it. Any ideas?
Congratulations.
Step one is to get off Blogspot.
That's step two, yeah. Step one. Yeah, get to WordPress. Take our course. Take blog. Okay, sorry, that wasn't very good. Yes, I think. First off, I don't think you're a troll. Seem like a perfectly. I mean, congratulations on 30K a month, right?
That's big. That's a lot.
That's good. Yeah. I mean,
that's what, 1,000? That's 1,000 per day.
Yep.
That's a lot.
Yeah. I mean, comparatively, right? You can grow from there. Plenty of room. Essential oils is big too within the affiliate space, I bet. Because, man, I used to buy essential oils, doTERRA guy, big time. And Maui, totally. So I'm very, David, this could be our last question, or at least my last question, then you can continue. Because
we can wrap it up after this question for sure.
Yeah, my mind is broken now.
Okay.
So I'm sorry, Lara. So
thoughts on Blogspot, running a blog on Blogspot.
Right, so why are we trashing Blogspot? Well, I mean, the problem with Blogspot, I think, is that, and I don't know much about Blogspot, so here we're just being mean to Blogspot for no reason. But so Blogspot, I don't know if you can run all your own advertising. You probably don't have the same level of control that you would have with a WordPress site. There's also ways that I'm pretty sure it's not too difficult to migrate. I would definitely recommend checking out our blog owners course and maybe making the migration if you feel like it's right. We have a $5 product that is all about discovering your niche and what to write about. It sounds like you already have a lot of good ideas and you're getting traffic.
Yep.
But also, you probably get other ideas. And then also, what you'd really be interested in is laying the technical foundation for success, which would show you exactly how to set up a website with a solid technical basis that you would need to maybe take your website to the next level.
And that's for technical foundation for a WordPress website.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're WordPress guys. WordPress has been great for us. And from my personal experience, I've used other platforms before, and the traffic was not good. You have no control over anything. And for me, I had whatever my domain was, .blogspot or .blogger.com, and that just is not appealing.
Yeah. WordPress is the way to go.
And then if you're kind of flatlining at 1,000 views a day, 30K views per month, I don't know how frequently you're publishing content.
Are you going to say publish content more frequently, David?
I was going to say maybe find some, big winning keywords, because I don't know.
Yeah, that's what it's about.
Find some big winners. I'm not saying publish frequently, because we talked about this earlier, how publishing a bunch of blog posts all the time that are not great is not an awesome strategy. But if you can find some really good keywords using tools like Suval, that might help you out.
Okay, I'm really sorry, Laros. I'm usually more awake than this.
Well, if he or she subscribes to this channel and we go live again soon,
yeah, you catch us in the beginning of the cast.
Catch us in the beginning when we're not we're 2.5 hours deep right now.
We're a couple hours deep, yeah. So
a couple hours deep. We got to edit some of the stuff out.
Yeah, but we got about an hour of solid content, a little more than that.
Yep, for sure.
Today, and I think that Laros, you've obviously got a good foundation. Here's the thing. Make sure when you do migrate, and if you do, it sounds like if you want to go to the next level, you got to get off Blogspot, right? Period.
Especially if he or she's using a blogspot.
Oh yeah.
Whatever their domain is .com.
Which it sounds like you're doing.
Get off of that.
Get
for
off.
Sure.
Take our $5 course. But before you start migrating all sorts of stuff, If you get the $5 course, like chat with us, and we will
Yep.
help you to make sure that you don't mess up your website during the transition. Because if I were you, the number one thing to worry about is when I start to move from my website, one website to the next one. If you do it correctly and you get a new domain name, and you do it all, you're going to be fine. There's a type of redirect called a 301 redirect that tells Google that this website is moved. It's gone to this new location and everything's fine. But if you screw it up, you can really end up hurting yourself in Google because they think, okay, this one website disappeared and this other one, happened, but it's a brand new website. You don't have any clout. So if you do decide to move, I'd recommend taking this increment offer.
Definitely.
Okay.
I definitely agree.
Yeah. He's a yes man today.
I'm a yes man.
Oh, yes. Okay, Chad can only buy so many tie-dyes from one another.
About essentialoils.blogspot. So you're on a .blogspot.com. We 100% recommend migrating off of that.
Nice.
I mean, if you can find a way to send us a message on YouTube and reach out to us, we'd love to talk to you more about this.
Is this all original content? And if so, nice. Nice. Nice.
91 results for the site. That's good. $30K a day on a blog spot. That's good.
This website is cool, bro. This is great. You should be making a killing on this.
So how can Laros contact us?
Well, if she signs up for the free Blog Winners account, that would work. Also, I think that's probably the best way to do it.
Yeah, if you sign up for a free account, we'll have your email. We can reach out to you tomorrow. And yeah, definitely.
More ways you should. Okay. Yeah. I bet that if you were to go to a new website and you're getting 30,000 people a day right now, like you would probably just automatically go up. And you're just doing a lot of things right. Doing a lot of things right. This is good.
Really good.
Yeah, nice job for the record, FTR. I just said that. Lots of good content. Good content.
Yep.
Good content. I wonder if, but I bet there's ways that you could improve some of the SEO stuff.
Laros says all original content.
Yeah.
I mean, it's great.
Laros.
That's exactly what you need it to be.
Telling you, Laros, you're sitting on a gold mine.
You're sitting on a gold mine. You're stuck in Blogspot. Oh.
You got take out your essential oils, whatever the combination is for moving to WordPress.
I mean, I feel like essential oils is one of those booming niches right now too.
Oh god, yeah, it is. So I was on Maui because I got there because of my blog, which you could do too. With this blog, oh my god, seriously.
Yeah, sign up for the free Blog Winners. It won't cost you anything, obviously, because it's free. And then, we can send you an email tomorrow. We can talk more about migrating.
Oh man, it won't cost you anything because
it won't cost you anything because it's free. It's light here on the East Coast.
Oh man, no, seriously, I used to have. What did I have? I have essential oils. I had them on Maui and I gave them away as gifts. I like essential oils. I think they're awesome.
I mean, I had a blog like this about daily fantasy sports, and I made a couple $100 on affiliate commissions over the summer. And I mean, if I wasn't stuck on, I think it might have been WordPress. It was either WordPress or Blogspot. WordPress.com, not WordPress.org. And if I was on WordPress.org, I could have been much more successful.
I like how you're using this. Let's see. Essential oils. This is an affiliate link, right? This Amazon link, right?
Is it?
It better be.
I don't know.
It better be. Is this? I don't see the typical tracking code. Maybe it is, but is it? Is this an Amazon affiliate? If it's not, you are seriously.
Sign up for Amazon affiliates if you haven't already.
Seriously, missing out here. Getting silly. Yeah, seriously. Seriously.
I think it is Amazon affiliates. It's amzn.to.
That's shortly. Which one?
Yeah, isn't that Amazon affiliates though?
Part of it, yeah. I don't know which one.
I think these are Amazon affiliate links for sure.
That's good.
I mean, with some formatting in a WordPress.org site and with a proper homepage, this could be a big.
Yeah, I think with WordPress too, you can like our course walks you through how to use WordPress as well. Like we have like a whole WordPress starter course as part of it.
Yeah, we license some videos, right?
Yeah, we license which costs money, but we work with the people who make them, and they're like some of the best WordPress videos we've ever seen.
They're the best.
They are, and yeah, you could recreate this website in WordPress very easily. I think it'd be just a little bit of formatting work probably, because imports are always a little bit weird. But WordPress can easily do the stuff like the sidebar that you're doing. I think this might be SumoMe or Add-This. SumoMe, yeah. Just plug in, no probs. Yeah, and then with WordPress, I mean, like, if I were you, I'd be thinking to myself, okay, how can I get people from this website into my doTERRA, not a pyramid scheme? Because, like, I know it's not a pyramid scheme, but how can I recruit people into my doTERRA referral list of people and sign them up and then get them, like, how can I make this my virtual doTERRA sales pitch thing? Like, anyway, you could probably make a freaking killing on this website if you're not already. That's what I think. I think I just missed my essential oils. David, have you ever had essential oils before? They're awesome.
I don't think so.
I've
taken a fish oil supplement before.
Oh God!
Does that count?
No.
Is that
you don't know?
Oil?
You have no idea. You have no idea essential oils.
I guess not.
Oh, bro. doTERRA, man. doTERRA. What's the other one? It's doTERRA and what's the other one? Versus doTERRA versus Young Living. Is it one? Must be. Yeah. Yeah, David. So, like, there's all these different essential oils. Let's wrap up this podcast by talking about essential oils.
Great.
So doTERRA is this company that sells these essential oils in these little bottles, and there's a bajillion of them. So what they do is you can, like, each one, all it takes is like a drop, and each drop is like super powerful. So, like, I had an orange one, and you could have like a full glass of seltzer or water or whatever, and you put in like 2 drops of this essential oil, and it's just like all orange. I had peppermint. You could put it in tea, like 2 drops in tea. It's just like, it's a sensory experience. Essential oil is powerful stuff. Like, it's very powerful, and so it's really cool. Like, you can put it in your skin. You can put it in your food, and there's ones for eating and ones for not. And they have, but doTERRA is this amazing company that sells really good essential oils, but also they sort of get you in the door with this, like, hey, you could try a little bit, but if you sign up your friends, then you get a commission of everything they sign up. And then if they sign up their friends, then it becomes this whole thing where your friends that have essential oils are pressuring you to buy their essential oils. I'm just a little traumatized because my friends on Maui were always trying to recruit me into their essential oils club. I did, in fact, buy a bunch of essential oils though because I like them.
All right. Well, there you go.
That's Dave's version of essential oils.
That's his essential oils rant.
Yes. You can cut all this out, right?
You're the one who has control over the editing, so that's up to you.
No, you're doing this, David. You can log in, right?
Oh, well, I need the login info then.
Let's do it publicly.
Yeah. All right. Well, that was our last question. Thank you, Laros. Feel free to reach out to us on blogwinners.com. If you just sign up for the free membership, we can get in contact with you.
Yeah, and maybe I shouldn't diss essential oils. I like essential oils.
You didn't diss essential oils. You basically talked about how awesome they were. So
that's good because that's what I meant to say. I did.
Yes, what you did say.
Okay, good. I like essential oils. They're just cool. They're just cool. There's a whole bunch of them. There's frankincense, myrrh. There's myrrh. Some of them are really expensive. Some of them are not.
Frankincense.
Yeah, it's
And myrrh.
And myrrh. Myrrh. Yeah,
I think you'd be a wise man to purchase those. Zing.
Oh wow.
Game, set, match. There it is.
Game, set,